Hey, vinyl community, Elliot here, Lazy Dogs Records. And there is a new tag going around, and I wanted to jump on that. It's called A Tribute to Summer Tag 2026. So nothing official, not the official summer tag, if there's anything like that in existence or in preparation for, just a fun vinyl tag. We need to do more vinyl tags because it's Alex says it gives us an opportunity to humble brag, showing our records. And it also introduces us to channels we weren't aware of before. For instance, the person that started this vinyl tag, his name's Peter, and it's Music is a Journey is the name of his channel, and I'll put a link below to the original video. He and a person that used to be in the vinyl community but hasn't participated in several years, named Bobby Gaylor, who I'm not familiar with. Uh, he contacted Bobby and said, "Long time no see. We miss you in the vinyl community," and they ended up putting this together. So great idea. I found it through Alex Beer and Vinyl. He did a tag for it, and that led me to the original. And so I want to make my contribution because they're fun. And remember, the vinyl community is about friendship, having fun, participating, enjoying our hobby. Never forget that. That's our bottom line, okay? So 15 prompts, about 20 records to show, and I'll go ahead and get started. Now, the first one is it talks about summer being such a hot time of year, and the sun is out, scorching us, and show an album that has the sun on the cover. I picked The Unraveling by the Drive-By Truckers, and you can see the sun setting here over the water. And this came out in 2020. The drive-by truckers uh, feeling kind of anxious and uneasy about the world at the time this album came out. And you can tell by the titles of some of the songs on here. The first song on side one is Rosemary with a Bible and a Gun. You have Armageddon's Back in Town. There's the final itself. Uh, Heroin Again, I guess probably I don't remember. I had listened to this in a couple of months, probably addressing the fentanyl crisis, and it closes with awaiting resurrection, a positive note after all the doom and gloom. The second prompt is since summer's made up of 3 months, June, July, and August, show an album by a trio. And I picked this album. I just picked up at a nearby record store, bought it new, sealed, and this is the South Carolina Broadcasters. Tell Me Truly is the name of this album. And oddly enough, there is a morning radio show that is syndicated called John Boy and Billy. I never would have thought it, but that's the label this came out on. This seems just not similar to what the vibe on the John Boy and Billy show would be. But this is old time string band music from a band from Surrey County, North Carolina. They are, in fact, not from South Carolina. They just like the four zodiac signs for the 3 summer months are Gemini, Cancer, Leo, and Virgo. Show an album representing one of those signs in some way. Okay, I had to look that up because I've never paid any attention to the Zodiac. All I know is the Zodiac Killer, the movies and stuff. But I know Cancer, I found out, was the emotional anchors is a characteristic of cancers. So I thought, oh, that'll work. But then I realized all the music that's really good is about the struggles, the stormy seas of our emotions, not the anchored ship of our emotions. So I said, no, that won't work. Gemini is twins, right? So they're not twins, but they're sisters, the Secret Sisters. From 2017, this album is You Don't Own Me Anymore. Great harmonies from these two sisters. And this is on Rounder, no, New West, on New West Records. Four, it's summer break and the college kids are returning home and partying with their friends. Talk about a drinking song or one just connected to alcohol. That was an easy one for me, except I don't have it on vinyl. And there's a singer-songwriter named David Childers, which I just saw recently at a little town square performance. And he has a song that got popularized by the Avett brothers, and it's called The Sweetest Thing. And the opening verse is just about that topic. And it's a memory he has from being at Carolina Beach in 1977. And so I'm going to let him. Now I could pull all kinds of versions of this song because it's been done many times in many ways. But I like this one. He's just sitting on the couch with his acoustic guitar and harmonica, and I'll just play the opening verses and the chorus.
Song
And
called Prettiest Thing. It was a New Year's Day in the Seaside Bar. Was a special on PBR. The ocean roared outside the door. No one but us and some hardcore drinkers lost in the stormy day. How blue is the blue of your eyes against the skies of gray. Do you remember what we talked about? I just remember your face. The prettiest thing that I have ever seen.
5. Summer is tornado season. The tri-state tornado. Tri-states was that New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut or something? I'm not sure. The tri-state tornado in 1925 was on the ground for 219 miles before dissipating. Show the 219th album in your collection. So I used Discogs and found the 219th I had entered there, and it is Vitrio. Vitro. Don't know exactly how we want to say that, but it is the three artists' first names, B, E, and A trio. It's Bella Fleck, Edmar Castaneda, and Antonio Sanchez. So banjo, drums, and harp. I guess you would call this world music. But it's interesting. It's not your normal or usual, I should say normal. It's not your usual fare. Uh, but unless everything you got is a merging of cultures. The sixth prompt, uh, brain freeze, July's National Ice Cream Month. Show an artist that has a song with the word cold in the title. I will do both a song and the title of the album. From 1984, the great rounder release by Tony Rice, Cold on the Shoulder. And of course, Cold on the Shoulder is written by Gordon Lightfoot. Tony Rice was a strong advocate of the songwriting of Gordon Lightfoot. He included two Lightfoot songs on this particular album. This is another great album from Tony Rice. There's been a resurgence in reissuing Tony Rice albums by Kraft and other labels. They haven't gotten to this one yet, but I feel confident that eventually they will. Great. All right. 7. Flag Day is observed in the U.S. on June 14th. Show an album with a flag on the cover. This was a difficult one. And I don't want to offend anyone, and this is not intended to offend anyone, but this flag sometimes triggers people. But I will assure you that the intent of the artist was not to offend anyone or to make any type of political statement. With that said, a band called a bluegrass band called the Boys from Indiana, and this is called Atlanta is Burning, and that is the Confederate not the national flag. That's the battle flag, the regimental flag, especially from the Army of Northern Virginia. And you see it's burning here because the album title and the song it's based on is an original song, historical song called Atlanta is Burning, marking uh, Sherman's army moving through Georgia. When they got to Atlanta, that was the economic hub of the South. They burned the city to the ground so that the country could not sustain its army or its people anymore and would force them to surrender. Then they proceeded down to Savannah, Georgia, destroying everything, the agricultural goods in their path. So it's not intended political, it's historical. Don't get upset about seeing this flag. 8. July 1st is Canada Day. Show a Canadian band. How about the Oscar Peterson Trio? This is on Verb. This is We Get Requests. And it's exactly what it sounds like. A collection of songs that they often got requests for. Love, he's my favorite jazz pianist, I think, Oscar Peterson. 9. The Dog Days of Summer start on July 3rd. Show an album that's a dog in your collection, one you no longer listen to, dislike, or want to purge. Okay. I don't want to purge it, but I don't listen to it. I like it as an historical artifact. I picked this up at a thrift shop at Holden Beach, North Carolina. Lots of people from the northeastern United States retire and move down to that area. So I think that's probably how this ended up at Holden Beach. I don't want to go home by the Byrne Brothers. And they played every weekend, I guess it was, at a club on the Jersey Shore. It says the most exciting act at the Jersey Shore. And it's just one on keyboards and one on drums. They're both singing. It says their theme song plus Irish American favorites. So I thought that was kind of neat. Uh, a little historical artifact. I love history, and I consider music not only great to listen to, but it also serves as cultural uh, artifacts. Prompt 10. Summer camp. Every morning a bugle blows to wake you up. Show a band or a song with horns. Worst cover in the last decade, and there's been some bad covers over the years, but best band over the last decade, maybe. The Tedeschi Trucks Band's newest album, Future Soul. Make sure I said, yep, Future Soul. Look at that AI generated. I hate AI. AI generated cover. I hope they did this ironically. I don't know though. But wouldn't that have been a better cover? Great 9-piece band, including uh horn section. Great band. Always seems to be touring. Number 11. July 27th is Take Your House Plant for a Walk Day. I did not know that. Show an album with a flower, shrub, plant, etc. on the cover. Didn't have to think hard for this one at all. If you are into Americana music, you know this artist. If you're not, you may not be aware, but she is huge in that Americana wheelhouse right now. Sierra Farrell, and this album is from 2021, I believe. Long time coming. And you see all the flowers around her. And then on the back. And she is an artist that in her mid 30s now, I guess, but spent a decade or more uh, going from place to place, busking for the most part, and learning her craft. And she really did learn her craft well. Bust in New Orleans, I believe, bust in Seattle, and she's such a great artist. She's like a little fairy out there, a little pixie. She loves costumes and things like that. She, drapes her mic stand with flowers and things along those lines. See her anything? No, it's just there's a little more flowers. So there we go. I highly recommend this artist. She's
Number
got 12 blockbusters at the movie theater. That's a summer tradition. So show a favorite soundtrack. Great, flawed, but really good movie was Carney, literally about carnival life. And Gary Busey's in this, Jodie Foster, and from the band, Robbie Robertson. Really good movie. Jodie Foster's pretty young there, let's say. I remember seeing this, I think it's 1980, seeing this in the theater. Number 13. On August 17th, we begin cat nights. And this is an old legend or an old fable that basically says that a witch can turn into a cat up to 8 times and then convert back into human form. But if they do it a ninth time, then they stay a cat. They can't convert back. So show an album with a witch on the corner, on the cover, and show an album with a cat. Cat was obvious. I mean, I don't know how many people have done this, but I bet you a lot of them will do this. Uh, either going to do as Alex did, Carole King's Tapestry with the cat on the front, or Cat Stevens and Teaser and the Fire Cat. You can pick these up all day long for next to nothing. I urge you to do so. He had a run of 3 or 4 albums in the early to mid 70s that were just killer. And just side two of this album has Morning is Broken, Moonshadow, and Peace Train on it. Of the 5 songs, there's 3 huge hits on it. He was such a good artist, Cat Stevens. So there's our cat. And now, as far as a witch, I struggled to find a witch, but I came up with a solution. Scots or Southern culture on the skids, Zombified. This is their scary album and or Halloween album or whatever. But Mary Huff, the bass player, I think she's being a zombie here, not being a witch. But there is a song on here, "She's My Witch" by Kip Tyler. And you can see they all signed it. So there's a song on here, "She's My Witch." So I'll use that. Southern Culture on the Skids, an institution right here. Still touring worldwide, still touring hard. Great music. And 14, summer is a time when people take a lot of road trips. What's a good song for a road trip? Well, just when I think of road trip, I think everybody in the car singing, you know, just, just break out singing. Can't help it. Well, one of the most underrated albums out there. Again, a record you should be able to find for less than $10 out there. Pure Prairie League busting out. And on this album, a song written by Craig Fuller, and it is called Amy. And oftentimes they play the song before it on the album, Falling In and Out of Love, and just merge into Amy on here. But that is a song riding down the road, and that thing comes on, and everybody's got to sing along. Amy, what you wanna do? I think I could stay with you for a while, maybe longer, if I do. Great. So Pure Prairie League. You see this album, and you're not familiar with their work, it's a killer album. And finally, 15, Summer Means Heat. Show 4 albums or 4 bands that alphabetically spell out heat. So Chris Hillman, formerly of the Byrds, formerly of Pure Prairie League. Uh, he did some albums for Sugar Hill Records back in the 80s that were just killer. And this is a great example of that. Morning Sky, H.E., the Earls of Lesher. The Earls of Lesher. Now, this is Jerry Douglas, the great dobro player's traditional bluegrass band, and they have done real well through the years, more or less a super group. So, Jerry does a variety of different types of music, but when he wants to get back to his roots in bluegrass, uh, the Earls of Lesher for many years was how he did that. You notice how they're dressed and everything. So, homage to traditional bluegrass. Uh, Super group for sure. And the name, Kate, the Earls, Earl Scruggs of Lesher, Lester Flat, the Earls of Lesher. You get it? Okay. Uh, and then H-E-A. I had this 8 track in 1978, maybe, freshman in college. Great Western swing, collision course, asleep at the wheel. This was on their Capitol Records days. And I got to see them a year or two after this album came out live at a club called the Attic in Greenville, North Carolina. This has got Texas Me and You on it. What a great song that is. Ghost Dancer, Louisiana, the Randy Newman song. Isn't that Randy Newman? I believe it is. 1 o'clock jumps on here. Just a great, great album from the kings of Western swing after, of course, Bob Lewis. And Heat. All right, haven't shown much jazz. I think Oscar Peterson trio's only jazz I've shown so far. So why not finish it out with a jazz album, a solo piano or Tatum album? It's Capitol Jazz Classics Volume 3. So the last two albums I showed were on Capitol, weren't they? Okay. Love some jazz piano. So that'll do it. Uh, I urge everybody to participate in this uh, summer tag and look forward to seeing others' contributions. I'll just remind everybody, please be kind to your neighbors, folks, because we're all neighbors.